Welcome back, True Seeker. Just a quick live stream here. We're going to start our Patreon Monday Night Football doubleheader stream in about 10 minutes. But this is just an invite. If you're not with us on Patreon, we cover sports every single day, 24/7, 365. Again, we love to use this knowledge to take advantage of the rigged games, which they no doubt are, as we prove week after week, year after year. Again, had another excellent week taking advantage of the scripted NFL. You know, people in my community are now, several people, we won't say everybody, not everybody wins. Some people are bad at making bets, but today's stream guy said, "Hey man, I won more than I've ever won. I won 10,000 this weekend. Thank you so much." Another guy, "I won 2 Gs this weekend. Thank you so much. This weekend, I placed my first bet. I had Tyler Algier for the first Falcons touchdown of the game. We thought he might do that, number 25 on the Pope Day. We knew it was going to be all about the Pope and Leo the 14th, and it was. He had to wait till the fourth quarter, but Tyler Algier cashed the bet for first touchdown of the game. And it's pretty rare the first touchdown comes in the closing minutes of the fourth quarter, but it did work out that way. It should remind you of when the Pope blessed Super Bowl 51 on 2/5. That was back in the time of Francis, and Brady had the 25-point comeback on 2/5 to conclude the 97th season, the 25th prime, the year they moved the touchback to 25 yards. Again, you guys, whether you're talking about the news, you're talking about politics, you're talking about sports, you better be paying attention to the numbers because, yes, this nation was founded by Masons, and Masons etch all is number on the temple. And every year, these games are ritual. And last year, you might recall the NFL Monday night doubleheader where both Harbaugh brothers were coaching. Of course, the Harbaugh brothers played each other in Super Bowl 47, and John equals 47, Jim equals 32. John, Mr. 47, won Super Bowl 47. Last year, they had it synced up so that if the Ravens won, John was going to pick up a 47 in his stats. And if Jim lost, he was going to pick up a 47 in his stats. And that's exactly how the Monday Night Football game played out last year. The doubleheader with the two Johns, paying tribute to 47 again. So I want to give you deja vu. Last year on this day, Tom Brady, in his first season calling games, a year ago today, the Seahawks and Patriots played each other. And we said, you know what? September 15th is 43 days after Tom Brady's August 3rd birthday. And of course, Brady went down to Florida at 43. Again, you learn this gematria thing, you'll really be laughing at these games. Did you guys see the Lions? Ford Field 52, Pope 52. Pope Leo the Lion from America, from Chicago. The Lions beat the Bears with 52 points. You have no idea how scripted it is. The Lions or the Bears stayed on, was it 58 road wins in the division? That's what it was. Pope Leo, XIV. They also picked up their 83rd road loss in the division, like Detroit, Michigan's 83 on the 83rd Meridian. Anyway, coming back to tonight's game, there's two things that stand out about this doubleheader. Again, today's 43 days after Brady's birthday. Florida's 43, football's 43. He went down to Florida at age 43. It all started in the time of number 43, who won the election in Florida, where his brother was the 43rd governor. And then the Patriot Act happened after the buildings crumbled down. And then all of a sudden, Tom Brady and the Patriots were the greatest football team ever. Anyway, today's 43 days after Brady's birthday. Last year, I said, just watch. There's going to be 43 points in the Patriots and Seahawks game. And you might recall the Seahawks, they won their only Super Bowl with 43 points. Seattle Seahawks 43, run it in reverse. Seahawks is 48. That was Super Bowl 48. That was the 94th NFL season. Always 94 rituals with the Seahawks. 2 years ago, I was down there for their opener to tell the fans, hey, you guys might as well just leave now because Stafford's about to pick up his 94th career win, which he did. This weekend, he got his 20th road win. I wrote Texans. I meant to write Titans. Got his 20th road win over the Titans. And he also got his 41st win with the Rams. It was his 20th road win with the Rams, and it was a rematch of the Super Bowl. There were several rematches of the Super Bowls. Anyway, the point is you learn these numbers you see through all the scripts. So tonight's game, 43 days after Brady's birthday. Now, you have the Buccaneers playing. Where he went down to at 43. And you also have the Raiders playing, and this might remind you of the John Gruden Bowl, where John Gruden was once the Raiders coach, and then he became the Bucs coach, and then the Bucs beat the Raiders in Super Bowl 37. And for the record, Buccaneers equals 37, and there is a 37 that can play in tonight's game. We'll be talking more about it in Patreon. But in light of Brady now being a part owner of the Raiders, and remember the Raiders beat him in the playoffs, and then the NFL pulled the tuck rule out of their ass because the Patriots need to win that scripted season for the Patriot Acts. That's how it is. Notice Las Vegas, Nevada is also 43, right? So in the first game on the board, you have the team he went to at 43. In the second game on the board, it's in Las Vegas, Nevada, and they're also playing the Chargers, which equals 43. So you have a double 43. So you have all this 43 stuff going on 43 days after Brady's August 3rd birthday. Again, a year ago today, the Seahawks beat the Patriots in overtime 23-20. And before the game was played, this is the kind of stuff we do. We said, look, there's going to be 43 points in the game. No doubt about it. We'll see how they do it tonight with the doubleheader 43 days after Brady's birthday. The one difference this year, though, is Brady's not calling the game. Now, John Gruden, funny enough, he's 62 years old right now, and we call that the Buccaneers number. You see how Buccaneers is 62, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers is 62, and again, they play at Raymond James Field, and that's named after Raymond James Financial, which was founded in 62, and in the opening week of college football, there was a game in that stadium that paid tribute to 62 in a major way. We've been torching college as well, just like the NFL, because it's all rigged. I know you guys get butthurt about this, but it is. It's all rigged. It's very rigged. Anyway, these are the clues you look for, and it helps lead you to the right player prop decisions, sometimes the right exact bets. What we try to do with this knowledge is turn small bills into big bills. We don't go out and bet our whole house and put our whole life on it, because even sometimes you have the best read and you might get tricked up a little bit, but we get the majority of games right, and we do hit exact scores, and we do see the player props very well, and it's because we know the game is fixed, and I've been proving it for over a decade now. For anyone who'd walk in here and be like, what? Hey, get caught up, buddy. You're 12 years behind. This stuff is a joke. It's a joke every week. And if you guys pay attention, isn't it the same shit I teach you every week? Last week, I was laughing at how Justin Fields got his 31st loss versus old team, the Steelers. And did you see the score in the Steelers game this week? Is Sam Darnold, number 14, beats the Steelers with 31 points. And do you notice the 48 combined, like Seahawks is 48? How about Baltimore beating Cleveland, the city they came from, 41-17 on Pope Leo's birthday? You see how Baltimore's 41-58? 41 plus 17 is 58. By the way, Lamar Jackson became 9-5 in this series versus the Browns. But look at Pope Leo, XIV on his birthday, 58-41, the guy who became Pope on 5-8. Just all these games, you guys, just laughs on laughs. Joe Burrow, last week I told you guys about Jaguars in 23. This week, Joe Burrow stays on 23 career losses, beating the Jaguars. I saw how Mac Jones was in there for the 49ers, and if he plays 3 games while Purdy's out, he's going to end up getting his 23rd win over the Jaguars 23 days after his birthday, like last year he played for him. This game went to overtime with 74 points with the Cowboys. We thought Cowboys to win or Giants to cover were both smart bets. Both hit. Giants did cover. Cowboys won. Again, Lions, Pope Leo the Lion on his birthday. They win 52-21 when Pope's 52, like we have a 52-week calendar name for the Pope. We knew that 52 and 25 thing would be all over the place. Ford Field's also 52. You run it in reverse, it's 47. Henry Ford died on April 7th in 1947. Miami goes down with 27. It's always 27 in Miami. It's like Groundhog's Day. Miami 27. The 49ers and the Saints, again, the ritual was through the coach for the direct win. Shanahan got his 80th win. Saints have the 80 connection. But there's a little thing here for Mac Jones if he wins his next 3 games, like I said. The thing for the Bills and the Jets, Allen got his 78th win in New York 78. Seahawks, again, Pope Leo the 14th birthday on the 14th of the month in the 14 league. It was tied 14-all. Aaron Rodgers throws an interception at the goal line to keep it 14-all, and the camera immediately goes to Sam Darnold, number 14, pumping his fists as the Seahawks win by 14 over the Steelers, the 31 team. Like I told you guys last week, it's the same numbers every week if you just pay attention. They figure out where to put them in the stats. Sometimes it's the QB win-loss. Sometimes it's the coach win-loss. Sometimes it's just the final score. Week after week in the National Fixed League, it's the same shit. The Colts and the Broncos, we said before the season began, we said the Colts coach is either starting 3-0 or he's starting 0-3. And the reason why is because he came in 17-17. And either way, he was going to end up with a 20 versus the Titans, who love 20. So, again, I'm giving you guys some tips for next week. They're 2-0. They can start 3-0, and Colts is also 30. Cardinals, this game was 38 days after Kyler Murray's birthday. 38 days as he got his 38th career win over the team that lost in Super Bowl 38. I gave you guys that one for free last week. Panthers 38. They also lost to Colorado on the 38th day of the year, and as Peyton Manning rode off into the sunset, number 18 in his 18th season. That was the golden anniversary on the 38th day of the year, Super Bowl 50, hosted by the 49ers, the Gold Rush team. Look at the day Joe Montana, number 16, won his first Super Bowl 16, when gold equals 16. Did you guys see Matthew Golden had 16 receiving yards in his first career game, by the way? Joe Montana won his first Super Bowl on the day in history that they said, there's gold in them hills, and the 1849 Gold Rush began. It's always tributes to history. Eagles and Chiefs, I gave this one to you for free too. Sirianni got his 49th win over Dallas in his opening week. He just got his 50th win yesterday, and I told you Saquon Barkley's on the same thing. 49th touchdown over Dallas, 50th touchdown over the Chiefs. Next week, he plays the Rams, 51. You see how we're just counting here with the most simple cipher? And the Falcons and the Vikings, my pre-day thought didn't come through, but you always got to look at the league record. The league record became 7-7 for the week, with the next game being in Houston, 77. My pre-read was that if the Falcons lost before any games were played, primetime road teams would fall to 1-5, and Atlanta likes that number. But instead, it ended up being 7-7 for the week. And remember, the first game of the week was an easy call too. Packers made home teams 4-1 in primetime, like Green Bay's 41, and they made home teams 10-7 for the week, beating the Washington Commanders 107. And Green Bay's 77 too. So going into the last primetime games, starting with Houston tonight, 7-7, starting with 77. Again, you guys, this is the National Fixed League. I'm about to start the stream on Patreon. Real quick, though, about Joe Burrow. Remember, I told you Charlie Kirk, his shooting had to do with the assault weapons ban, the 31st anniversary on September 13th, and the McKinley shooting in Buffalo on September 14th. This injury happened on September 14th to Burrow, the supposed injury that has him out 3 months. Again, you guys, this is the National Fixed League. They're always paying tribute to history. Jake Browning will be the starting quarterback now. He went to Washington. Notice his 4/11 birthday and that he was born in 96 like Burrow was, because we went from number 9 to number 6. I'm going to bring this all together. But it's important that he went to Washington, and this happened in Cincinnati. The Society of Cincinnati is credited largely to George Washington, this powerful secret society that a lot of people don't know about. I want you to see the members of this secret society, including William McKinley and Teddy Roosevelt, as well as Andrew Jackson. We're going to talk about why all of them matter, all presidents. Again, William McKinley was shot in Buffalo on 9/6 and died because of that shooting on 9/14, the day of this injury. Shot on 9/6, right? Number 9 is replaced by number 6. Now, McKinley was replaced by Teddy Roosevelt, both members of the Society of Cincinnati. And Andrew Jackson, who was also shot, was a member. We're going to bring this all together. The Society of Cincinnati establishment anniversary is May 13th. Notice from that day to the injury was 124 days, right? This injury happened on the 124th anniversary of McKinley's death. And remember, I just talked about this with Charlie Kirk, whose tour he was on. The name of that tour equaled 124. We just talked about this. And the winning score of this Bengals game was 31 points, mind you, like Charlie Kirk's age. But look at this. Again, a 9/6 shooting of McKinley in Buffalo. Cincinnati, of course, equals 96, like Freemason. Like many of these men in the Society of Cincinnati are also Freemasons. And again, Joe Burrow, born in 96, like Browning. By the way, Browning is a gun manufacturer. Again, here are notable members of the Society of Cincinnati. Andrew Jackson, who Jacksonville's named over, as Joe Burrow just stayed on 23 career losses. Last week, Bryce Young got his 23rd loss versus the Jaguars. It's the same shit every year. I'm telling you guys. There's certain numbers. You just got to know. Zach Taylor's another president who bit the bucket early. But yeah, William McKinley and Teddy Roosevelt up in that list, right? Taft's another one. Skull and Bones bit the dust early. Anyway, Reagan supposedly got shot. Anyhow, Browning's birthday is 4/11, right? 4/11. JFK shot from 411 Elm Street. We just talked about how in the Charlie Kirk thing, a 22-year-old arrested on the 11th after 33 hours. JFK killed on the 22nd day of the 11th month after being shot in Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason. The same JFK who gave the speech about secrecy and its problem to the newspaper publishers of America, only to be shot in Dealey Plaza, named not only after a Mason, but a guy who was in the newspaper business. The news, always by the numbers. Because of these secret society types are running the whole thing. So anyway, they're saying Joe Burrow's out for 3 months. So what's 3 months from September 14th? Isn't that December 14th, George Washington's death anniversary? The first member, most famous member of the Society of the Cincinnati. And then look at the game before. So it's very possible that Browning's last game is at the Bills in Buffalo, where McKinley was shot and died on September 14th, when we were already talking about this before the game was even played. Not to mention Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th, is going to be the kill date. And again, you guys, this is what we look at. The number rituals for the game, the way they pay tribute to history, the way it might be somebody's birthday, like Leo the 14th, and they might just pay tribute to 14 all over the place, including the Seahawks winning by 14 with Sam Darnold, number 14, getting his first win with the team. But yeah, Browning is a gun manufacturer. And then in light of Jacksonville and Andrew Jackson being in the Society of Cincinnati, notice that this is Browning's game log. His first ever career win was over Jacksonville. And then he won yesterday, 31-27 with Jacksonville. And then also turf toe. They're saying he's going to miss likely through the Bills game. So that game will be 84 days later, like turf toe's 84. Run it the other way. Turf toe is also 105, like Pope Leo, which is the 14th triangular number, going with Leo the 14th and the 14th of the month. And don't forget, we just had the shooting hoax at Villanova, his former school, 105 days after he became Pope. But yeah, again, this is what they do. This is what they do. He's out 3 months with turf toe. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway, I'll see you guys on Patreon if you want to join us. I got a lot more to talk about with Charlie Kirk. Shout out to Gematria32. If you guys don't follow my website, you can always get ahead of the curve and read over here about where the Masonic ritual of the 3 ruffians who killed Hiram Abiff by stabbing him in the throat, where that fits in with Charlie Kirk being shot in the throat. Shout out to Gematria32. Remember how this ritual just happened 249 days after the state of Utah's birthday, a state that's credited to the Mormons, where the Mormons were Masons, Joseph Smith, who was assassinated in Illinois, where Kirk's from. And also Brigham Young, who died 33 years after Joseph Smith, kind of like 33-hour manhunt. But notice, 249 days after Utah's birthday, the 3 ruffians, 249, while the country's 249 years old. I'll go over this more, but I just want to throw this out there real quick. What I learned is that Charlie Kirk's father helped build Trump Tower in New York. Did you know this? Did you guys know this? That Charlie Kirk's father, there's an article about it. He helped build Trump Tower in New York that's 48 stories tall. That's where Trump announced he was running for the 58th presidential election. This time around in 2024, he got 58% of the Electoral College. But Trump Tower's 58 stories. The 3 ruffians and the killing of Hiram Abiff is about Solomon's Temple, which equals 58, like Freemasonry, like Rosicrucian, like secret society. Again, the first degree of Freemasonry is the honored apprentice. Trump's the apprentice who ran the first time in the 58th election. And, there's all this stuff about how Charlie Kirk was coming out, demanding more about the Epstein files. Remember, Epstein died 58 days after Trump's birthday during Tisha B'Av, which is to remember the destruction of Solomon's and Herod's temple. Again, Epstein died 58 days after Trump's birthday. The base ciphers of Utah also has the 58 in it. 22, like the 22-year-old, like Kirk's 22, like it happened on the 253rd day of the year, the 22nd triangular number. Kirk's father is the connection to Trump Tower. Father, 58. Father's also 31. Words that equal 31. College, activist, hunter. And why does hunter matter? The guy who asked him the question about mass shootings when he got shot, his name was Hunter. Hunter Kozak. And, Sagittarius, the time that JFK was shot on 11/22, Sagittarius is known as the Hunter. You know what I mean? So, again, you guys, this is what it is. The cabal is into numbers. They're into ritual. They're into history. They're controlling it all. They're putting puzzles before your face that they expect you to not see and definitely not solve. And that's why I like to educate about this knowledge, because the more people looking at it, the more dots are connected and the more it's understood. And yes, the National Fix League, aka the NFL, is part of this giant script. Just like how they're telling you right now that the Chicago Bears, they're going to build their new stadium in Arlington Heights, Charlie Kirk's hometown. And isn't there an Arlington just outside of Dallas where JFK was shot? Anyway, I'll see you guys on the Patreon. Thanks again to everybody who supports the work. Congrats to the winners. And let's make it another winning Monday Night Football. Until next time.